Welcome to the weekly poll. Today, I am Benny Potter, known as the Comicstorian, joined by Sal and Tiffany, and no one else important at all. No one. And we are going to be discussing pretty much nothing because we don't have a topic at all. There's like no topics at all. So you get to see just a random BS episode of the weekly poll. And thank you so much, Pector the Inspector, for renewing your stuff there. We really do appreciate it. And if you're wondering why, because I know it's going to lead to this, Brady, here's the weekly poll, Dad. Let me fill you guys in. Typically, after the end of New York Comic Con, there's like no big comic news. Like, this is so it's going to be pretty dry for us until the end of the year, and then as we get closer to the movies, they'll start doing them again.
It's also rough because neither of the major two companies have threatened a major reboot in the last little bit.
Shut up, Joel, and welcome to the weekly poll.
You already introed. You don't get to do that bit. Already introed. Doesn't work.
Leave him unsuspecting. It's great.
See, now he's going to get to the point that it's going to be at the end of the show he's going to pull it out and be like, he thought he made it a whole episode, but he didn't.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to mix it up. I don't want you to know when it's coming.
That's fair.
Like a ninja from the night striking.
Keep it fresh. Keeping it woke. So what's keeping it lit?
Very.
First question of the night. What's with your beard, Benny?
Yeah, I've seen a few questions about that. What's wrong with my beard? Did I do something wrong with it?
I think it's just bigger.
Well, I'm growing it. That's what happens to a beard.
There you have it.
My goal is to go Mountain Man Benny. God damn it, I DC'd from the game. Oh, I'm back in the game. Never mind.
And what's after Mountain Man Benny? Are you going to get Viking foolery for it?
I want to grow the bottom out as much as I can. I had it at a point, but then I look like an evil villain from like a cartoon.
You look like your own Mirror Universe version from Star Trek.
Yeah. It was fun at first, and then it got weird because it got really long. So I routed that out. I am trying to grow it out. I want to see how big I can get it while keeping it trimmed and looking nice. That's what I'm going for here.
I think the next step should be styling it. You know, like, okay, you got the beard. Now create some kind of like do a handlebar mustache, do mutton chops. Like,
well, I almost shaved it down to a handlebar mustache for this month.
Awesome. Now
everyone's like no shave Movember,
right?
And I was kind of like handlebar mustache November.
Yeah,
it could be a thing.
I knew a comic book retailer who was very much into like the no shave November, he did a whole thing. He worked it into promotions like for the store. Whole month of November, if you had a mustache, you got like a discount. Just insane.
I mean, I could do that. What about you, Sal? When are you ever gonna like grow out the sides?
The sides? Well, I did that a few years ago, and it's just it just looks like a big beard. Like,
that's kind of what the point is. So.
Yeah, but it's no big. Like, it's not. It doesn't really leave much to the imagination. I have some pictures I'll post, and you'll be like, "There, that's like me growing it," because I don't want to grow all this. I don't want to grow a big beard. Plus, it's red.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't want to grow a great big bushy beard.
Great big bushy
red
beard.
In this one. There is red in this one.
I always
I'll have.
threaten I'm gonna grow it out. I always say like this is the year I'm gonna grow it, and then like I always wuss out like 2 weeks and like I'm itchy. I don't want to do this anymore, and it's getting stuck in my food.
Oh, real quick for those guys who may be wondering, Rob is not here this week. He was in Boston. His flight got delayed and everything. He's not landing until an hour from now, so that's why he's not here. He actually planned on being here.
Well, he'll just have to travel back in time. Did it work? Is he here?
We have the technology.
So, there was something else I was going to bring up. I can't remember what it was now. Okay, big beard. We're talking about beards. Got it. Oh,
Switch
right,
on.
Red Dead. They brought up Red Dead. I don't want to play Red Dead.
Really? How come?
Yeah.
You don't want to be a cowboy?
No,
I
do. But everything I've heard about Red Dead that makes everyone excited, it makes you not excited. Like that's the worst part about it.
Do explain.
What was did you like the first game?
Yes. So, okay, I love Grand Theft Auto. Here's a good example. I love Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
But I never got that far into San Andreas because what I didn't like was, well, you can work out, and that's how you'll look good. But if you don't, you'll just be scrawny. And you don't have to eat, but if you don't, you'll be scrawny.
Right.
And you don't have to get a haircut, but then none of the girls will want to be with you. And that's how I feel with Red Dead. It's like, I just want to be a cowboy and shoot people and go have fun. And they're like, well, if you don't bathe, you'll be stinky and you'll have a long beard. And if you don't go eat, you'll die and you could lose your hat. And I'm like, it's too realistic for me that when I do it, I need to like, okay, now we're devoting a week to Red Dead to do all this.
True.
Yeah, then it's like work. Like you have to go to your job, you'll get fired. Like you have to go to, if you don't go to the bathroom, you'll die. You know, like
exactly. And well, a lot of people like that, and that's perfectly fine. Natalie's loving the game right now. I wanted more of the first. I wanted the first game, but I don't want all the real life simulator stuff. That's what I don't want in my giant like. What do you think, Sal? I mean, you're like you're not a hardcore gamer, and Joel doesn't play games. He sucks at them all. But what do you think, Sal?
Well, I loved the first one. I played it. It's funny. The first Red Dead I played, I didn't get it. I sold it, and then I bought it back because I was like, let me try it again. And I loved it and played it into the ground. So that was so I'm like really looking forward to the second one because I really enjoyed the experience of like riding horses and murdering people indiscriminately and just being like. I also loved GTA 5. So like the idea of making it like
5.
It's GTA 5. But with cowboys, I'm all up on that, particularly just because of how beautiful it is. The vistas in the first Red Dead were beautiful and breathtaking, and that was before they had engineered everything, like it made it even better and beautiful. So, like, it's going to look awesome, especially on my 70-inch television. But, like,
what
about you, Tiffany? You're the biggest gamer right next to me. I think you may be potentially bigger than I am. But
no. So for me, like, I really enjoyed the first Red Dead Redemption. Where it comes for a problem for me is that I get distracted by open world.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, and now to ride off and never return to the main storyline. Whoops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the Elder Scrolls problem.
I get really lost in open world games where it's just like, yeah, but like maybe I just want to go hang out and become a mountain man and like shoot deer all day. Oh, I got eaten by a cow or a coyote. Damn it. Like, I don't know. Like, I know what you're talking about though in terms of like it becoming like too much of like, okay, I gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this. Like when I like even like stupid silly games like The Sims, not even stupid silly games, but like games like The Sims or like Stardew Valley.
But at least you know what you're getting into with that.
You do. You have like, to do those
and
things.
all I want is the open world cowboy game.
Yeah, but like even if you play those, like eventually for me, I'm just like, okay, now I'm just living life.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's just it. And for the record, I loved the Dragon. I think it's Dragon something in the chat. He said, I also hate popular things, Benny. No, that's not a hipster moment at all. Because I'm playing freaking Call of Duty every night and Fortnite, so I'm definitely not that guy.
Yeah, the new Call of Duty is actually pretty solid. I got a review code for that, and I hate how much I really enjoy it.
I got on it Call of Duty, and I was expecting like, I'll maybe get a couple levels. I'll jump on for zombies once in a while. I think every night our Discord community, we've been getting on and playing that game. We're all just doing stuff in that.
Nice. You basically have 3 games worth of content there. You got the zombies that's never been bigger. You got the Blackout, which is their take on Fortnite, and you got the same multiplayer that people have been loving since friggin' Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
I know when I heard that they were going to come out with the Battle Royale that I was going to be like, oh, I don't want to play Battle Royale Call of Duty. I don't want to do that. And then when I got the game, I'm like, oh, they put all the time into multiplayer and zombies that they always do. Mm-hmm. They just dropped the single player to make Blackout. All right, I'll deal with that.
Right.
Then again, I am one of those.
Like, I think I played up to the 3rd one, and I was like, all right, that's enough.
It gets a little nuts. Although they do keep interesting story threads going, like, what is it, the Woods family and everything, and Reznov. Those things keep coming back every so often.
The thing I'm really thrilled about is that they finally dropped single-player campaign, because I loved the first CODBO single-player. And I think I liked CODBO 2 single-player. But getting to 3, I was like, this sucks.
Three's the one with the robots, right? And
that's
the
it.
Dude from
It was
SVU.
the tanks. I was like, I don't want to do this. I just want to play with like Tiffany, Ethan, and Ben. Like,
yeah, no, I agree with you on that. The zombie mode in this one's incredible.
That's great.
It really is.
And right now, there's apparently an exploit that we've been taking advantage of. But they're giving the same amount of XP on casual as they are on normal. Now, apparently, I was told that they're fixing that eventually, but it's at the bottom of the list because it doesn't affect anything competitive.
Hurry! Play as much as you can!
That's what we've been doing. We got a casual. We're like getting to like wave 27, 28, but we're like specifically grabbing specific guns to level them up and things like that.
Nice.
We'll have to get it.
Yeah.
I like that Bruno looks like Liev Schreiber Has anyone noticed this, or is this just my weird eccentricity that dude looks like Liev Schreiber?
That's just you.
I think you're also in love with him.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, like, look, we all got our man crushes, and I'm not gonna lie, Ray Donovan's an amazing show. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we call him Mr. Mutton Chops. And thank you so much, That Silly Killy, for continuing your sub for 28 months, even on bullshit episodes like this.
Right? Thank you.
There you go. I gotta tell you, whenever I think of him, all I can think of is him playing Sabretooth, so that's not good for him.
Yeah. Just the worst look.
Yeah.
It's like he is the Tommy Lee Jones. He is to Sabretooth as Tommy Lee Jones is to Two-Face.
It's kind of true. Even though Tyler Mane played him before, but no one remembers Tyler Mane.
I liked that Sabretooth.
Yeah, we're not answering that question.
Me too.
He's asked it 9 times. What do you guys think about the Monster Hunter movie? Like,
I didn't see it. I don't know what they're talking about.
I'm the only one that has even played Monster Hunter, so
I didn't play it.
I've played it a little bit. It's not for me, I don't think.
It's another one of those things where it feels like almost too much work. Like, I love the monster design. I love the world.
Yeah.
I love when I can hunt a monster and win. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I need to manage all these different stats and bars and
That's
armors.
why you got to come join our Discord community. We have a really strong community in comic books, but we also have a big gaming community on our Discord.
You know what my problem with the
Stop being antisocial.
Stop being antisocial. The problem with the Monster Hunter games for me is, like, it reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus without the story.
Well, there's no point then, because Shadow of the Colossus
real
is
quick
the
for
story.
people who are joining up and asking about Spider-Man, I saw 2 comments in there. No, Twitch was bugging out, and when we went live, it hadn't updated to say the weekly poll yet. That is a mistake. We are doing the weekly poll today. That is our usual podcast on every other Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you like that, but I guess I kind of intended to, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Shadow of the Colossus story.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was a beautiful story, and, like, it's just, I don't know. I get those, like, vibes from that where it's just like, I got to go out there and I got to do this thing and whatever, but, like, I don't know. I want the emotional impact along with hunting the monster. And the feeling that I'm truly the monster at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, you're mass murdering animals into existence. You can be like, I can make pants.
Yeah. You are legend.
But there's some great pants.
I really want that guilt put upon me. Definitely. Please. It's not a game unless you feel like a jerk at the end of it.
Right.
That series also.
I'm just looking at the comments here. Did you guys play the Spider-Man DLC yet? My regular viewers here know I did it live. Did you play it yet?
Yeah, I finished it.
Yes. I started it.
What do you think about the portrayal of Black Cat? I actually thought it was one of the better ones, the costume design and everything.
I loved it. I really enjoyed it. It's funny. You play the DLC, and it occurs to me, I was like, this feels like all 3 episodes together. I feel like this might have actually been that they made too much game.
Oh, it probably was. It
and
almost certainly was.
Like you know how in the main game, using the spyglass to catch her dolls and see what she's up to, and then it takes you to her hideout. I think that was part 1 of an actual campaign that was supposed to be in the game, and they were like, no, we're going up against Red Dead Redemption the next month after this game comes out. Put it chop it into 3 pieces and put it out as DLC.
It was supposed to be the Tombstone size side quest, where it's wow, here's a whole boss fight I wouldn't have gotten if I didn't do this.
The Tombstone side quest felt like half a side quest.
Yes,
it did. Yeah, the Tombstone thing. I don't know. I agree with you on that. I do feel because if you also go to it lets you reset the world with new objectives too.
Really?
Yeah. Which I find weird. Yeah, when you click over to the Black Cat, the same world's there with different objectives to go do.
Yes, and they do impact the world that you if you buy a suit in the Black Cat DLC, it'll be there in the original game. If you get a backpack in the DLC, I think you get it in the old version of the game.
Oh. Yeah.
But, it unfortunately doesn't overwrite the game, so it's not like I can look for paintings while I'm also doing Tombstone missions.
I really enjoyed your depiction or your description, Sal, of what it was to look for Black Cat in the main storyline. Because anyone else would have said, you find her camera and you look for her little cat plushies. You're like, I use a spyglass and find her creepy dolls. And I'm like, did you play the same game? What?
Right. Yeah, I guess it is a camera.
I mean, if you do her quest to it, it does feel like it was supposed to unlock everything you do in the rest of that storyline, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sure it was.
No, when it was done and we finally, not to spoil it, but, when you get to her hideout, I'm like, when does she come out? I've seen pictures of her like interacting with Spider-Man from the DLC. Is this part of the story?
True.
And it's like, no, that was it.
To be continued.
Yeah. I'm like,
did you try and get selfies with her? Because I spent I was thinking an hour trying to get selfies with her.
I did not. Well, because she's too fast.
Well, that was why it took me an hour, but I got some.
Is it does it give you anything for it, or is it just for you?
It's just for me.
Okay.
I got selfies with her though, and then it became a game because she was always jumping away.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna jump away, fine. I'm gonna go out of my way to get a selfie of your butt.
Right.
So then
the true metagame begun.
That's great.
Oh, come on. Don't give me shit, Tiffany. She was jumping away all the time. And every time I'd get a selfie, it was just her boot. So I'm like, fine, if we're going to play this game.
It's like there's hard mode, then there's butt mode.
I got a selfie of Spider-Man with a heavy, one of those big guys that I had to end up webbing to a wall. But the way the physics worked, he bent in half.
You
nice.
Like a
legs
chimney.
were over. Yeah, it was horrific. And I got Spider-Man being like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's right. We did that.
He looks like the Thing.
It's a warning to criminals. I'm coming for you.
It's awesome.
I never figured out how to take selfies in Spider-Man. They made it. You can put it on the left D-pad if you want.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
Just make it
smart.
quick.
Yeah, because it's not just click the D-pad. It's you have to go into not your photo mode. You have to go into the PlayStation photo mode.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's so dumb. It should be a function. It shouldn't just be no. Go into your settings, your PlayStation settings, and then choose screen capture. And there's a whole myriad of options with Spider-Man covers and stuff. But it's all the way in your what the hell are you doing? Make it just when you engage the camera, push left. That's how it should work.
Yeah.
And if any game deserved a photo mode, I mean, it's Spider-Man. Where taking pictures is such a huge part of him.
Yeah.
And Tomb Raider was a little bad about it because Tomb Raider, I would take pictures when she was dying.
Oh.
Because you could pause it at any time,
right?
And then put a smile on her face. So if you timed it right, you could get a spike going through her eye, but she's smiling as she's going down.
So you just got a weird snuff collection.
Yeah, I got a stuff collection from Tomb Raider.
She's into it. That's her thing. She's like, yeah.
I didn't have as much fun with the Assassin's Creed photo mode. That wasn't.
Oh yeah, that has one too. How is Odyssey?
They all do.
Yeah.
How you dig in Odyssey? I know it's pretty divisive. A lot of people complained about the leveling system that, much like in Origins, if you are one level behind where you're supposed to be, you'll get one shot stomped by basic enemies.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't understand why people complain that they can't go anywhere. It's an action RPG. It has been since Origins.
Mm.
I mean, that'd be like going, why doesn't Skyrim let me do whatever I want? Well, I'm sorry, Morrowind. Morrowind didn't have the scaling. Skyrim did.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay if there's a 5-level difference. I know, okay, I should probably not go to this area or take this mission, but it's the 1 or 2 level differences where it's oh, let me challenge myself. I think I can do this. But nah, my Bayek always got friggin' killed every single time. Just one shot. It was always embarrassing. But
so,
yeah.
There's not much to talk about, guys. Even the chat's not helping us out this time. This may be an exclusive episode only on Twitch.
Yeah. Ooh.
The episode they were embarrassed to post.
Oh no, we posted a lot more embarrassing things than this.
This is fair in the multiple years we've done this.
Should we go on a political rant? What do you guys think about it?
That's probably not a good idea.
Oh, you're breaking up. That's how this works, right?
I'm going through a tunnel.
Yeah, I can't hear you anymore.
Talk about the My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan movie. I'll pull a line from Rob. Those are things that exist.
Yeah. I don't know the anime.
An Attack on Titan's live action movie already?
Yeah, they've already made those, and it's okay.
But this one is going to have white people in it? Is that the plan?
I love the way you worded that. This one's going to have white people?
Yeah.
I think that's the plan, right? It's Hollywood's making one. So it'll be it'll have that CG that everyone uses that looks really kind of bad.
Yes, and what's weird about that too? It's because conceivably that whole area is meant to have almost Germanic style roots to it, or at least in its architecture. So it kind of makes sense, but I don't know. They already did it.
their names are all Germanic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have to not be afraid.
They will be.
I know.
Well, because making movies is a gamble. You're betting like $200 million on like red or black. Like those are your options, you know.
But I mean, like to actually just like do what is already there on the page.
Yeah. And
turn it into a reality. Instead of like pulling your punches because you think an American audience can't handle it.
Right.
I like it when that sort of thinking goes the other way. What was that movie where Matt Damon played an ancient soldier and he was defending the Great Wall of China from monsters?
Oh my God!
Was it just called
Wall?
The Wall?
It might. Yeah, okay. It was called that. I like it. That was made by a Chinese company for Chinese audiences. But even in a reverse of what we're saying, they're like, oh well, obviously we need big Hollywood movie star white man Matt Damon to be the star of this film,
and
or else.
Willem Dafoe.
Oh shit! Was he in it too?
Yeah, he Trojan horsed into that movie where he's like, "I'm also in the movie."
To me, that's like he just showed up on set and they were like, "You could be that guy,
right?"
I happen to be walking through mainland China.
Yeah.
Like you
let's
do.
talk about, okay, well, I don't know what you guys want me to rant about TwitchCon. It was exactly what I expected it to be. TwitchCon is a networking thing. Like, yeah, there's a couple things to do there, and they announced some cool stuff for Twitch, which I'm excited about. Like, here's a great example. Tiffany, now, because you also do Twitch,
yes,
we can now do squads. So we can all get on the same game, and you can stream from your side. And what's up?
I was really certain you said squats at first.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not really a high point for me. I don't want to do squats.
Well, no, squad. So, like, let's say that we're all going to play Overwatch.
Okay.
We can all be in the same squad and play on our own streams, and we can link out, giving people, like, a squad link, and they can just click between us freely to go between all the streams to see the different point of views.
That's really awesome. Good. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
That sounds like something they should have had forever ago.
Yeah. I mean... you guys see, a lot of people are freaking out about day one of TwitchCon, and you guys you're all going to be like, that's normal day one con shit. They had their lines wrong. Ooh. So no one knew where to go, no one knew how to get in. People were standing in line for almost 4 hours, but 99% of that was the lines had gotten so full, no one knew where to go.
Oh.
So like Dan, for example, stood in line for 4 hours to get his badge. He was in the wrong line twice.
Ooh.
So the lines weren't really that bad. The problem was they had nobody organizing it, but it's basically normal day one con shit. I hate to say it, but that's how it's become. They see what their problem was, and day two they fix it. Now I will say this: TwitchCon, unlike every other con that has had this kind of an issue, right? Mm-hmm. They did a very good. They handled it very, very well. So everyone who came in Friday. They opened up the show floor an hour early and an hour later on Saturday, and all the Friday badges were allowed to come back Saturday to get in.
Oh,
and what they did the second day was they had everyone out there orchestrating the lines so that everyone knew where to go.
Cool. See, I wish they'd learned that lesson like the day before, so that they could actually just facilitate people who bought the tickets. And like, this isn't the first TwitchCon.
No. Well, they moved it to San Jose, and everyone wanted to know why the fuck they moved it.
Right, but money. I mean, like, and that's like it's still weird. Like I totally know what you mean though. Like it's a first like day kind of thing that of course that might happen, but it's like it's not like it's a location specific issue. Like you know the amount of people who are going and you know the kind of coverage you need. That just seems weird that they would have.
The problem was that the lines were not long enough to hold it properly. That was the issue with it. Like they had queues for the lines, but the lines formed way outside of that really quickly. And then you walk up, you're like, I don't know where the hell to go.
Right. Well, clearly they had someone like me doing the math on that one. It's like, all right, all person's about this wide, and I'm gonna need this amount. There we go. It's perfect.
Oh, they basically made like line areas down the stairs. At the bottom of the stairs, they're like, all right, well, there's no way in hell we'll have more than the stairs length of people.
They're like, from here on out, it's Thunderdome rules. So go for it, everybody.
We had a partner badge. Luckily, unlike YouTube, they treat their partners with respect.
Right.
So I was able to kind of push through a lot of it and just go right to the partner lines, and they did, and they were like escorting us in and things. So that was great, and I was able to pull Natalie with me because she has an affiliate badge. So it worked out pretty well for us. I could see a lot of the complaints that everyone was doing, but
yeah.
I was at a con this weekend
I was going to say, tell me your con, Joel.
Oh, yeah, I went to London Comic-Con for the very first time. London, Ontario, not London, England. I had a lot of English fans being like, oh, really, Joel, I can meet you? Because apparently their con was the same week.
Yes, MCM London was happening the same weekend.
Holy crap, that's confusing. Why would you put both of those on the same week?
I don't know.
That just sounds like a nightmare waiting to happen. But yeah, I hosted 2 panels, which I actually edited before we started. I'm going to put those up in the next little bit if people want to see that. On one panel, I was treated very nicely and very friendly. And on the other one, I will not say which one it was of the 2, I was given a Mr. Freeze-ish cold shoulder. Yeah.
Wait. No, now you got to say who it is. You can't lead with that.
Yeah.
Like, I have no problems telling people that they did shitty things. Like, Comic Book Girl 19 sucks. Comic Book Cast can fuck Comic Book Cast.
They didn't do anything to you. This is a thing that Joel is actually complaining about.
I know.
Stuff picking fights.
I'm building interest for the 2 panels. You'll have to see both and see which one I mean.
Oh.
Damn you.
Did you film both panels?
Yes, I did. I filmed both, and I actually did some good audio wizardry leveling it to make sure it sounds nice. But it's funny, on the first day I had my table set up because I thought I'd have more merch to sell. I ordered shirts that I ended up not getting in time, unfortunately. But yeah, they put me right next to Howard Chaykin and Allison Court, and then over the next couple days they moved me around where it's like, ooh, we thought you'd have more foot traffic than you did.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fine. It was good. It was a lot of fun there. What was cool, they held it in a really interesting place in a big entertainment center in London. They had like a casino next door and a bunch of restaurants and a bunch of other stuff. So I just had a bunch of fun even when I wasn't at the con.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, that's what we liked about San Jose. So I will say this, and Natalie even tweeted about this. So San Jose has those automatic motorized scooters everywhere. And you, for $1, can rent them for an hour. They're Razor scooters, and they go at like 20 miles an hour. So, like, that was the best part about being in San Jose. Because, like, day 2, we'd done all the networking. So we all went out, rented these scooters, and we're, like, zipping, whee, all over San Jose on these rental Razor scooters.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
That's cool.
Let's see here. Yeah, I guarantee. Danielle, y'all know you're watching this. Let's not put this episode up. There's like no topic. How are we going to clickbait this? Benny
Danielle's
rambled.
like, got it. I know someone in the chat mentioned that Scott Snyder wants to reinvent 2 characters.
Oh,
which characters?
Oh, he wanted to have another thing on my channel this week, so maybe I'll find out about that.
Well, it's Detective Chimp and Dr. Fate.
Oh, he loves those 2.
Both characters are currently in Justice League Dark, so he can back off.
Getting major reinventions by his protege, Tynan.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. Detective Chimp's getting a cool reinvention. Dr. Fate's just gone evil.
Yes, which is a pretty good intervention.
Well, the one is, and then they briefly brought back the other one for like a hot second. But you know what I mean? Like, let's let him be in there. Just relax. Slow your roll, Snyder. Slow your roll.
Which I appreciated the attention to detail that they remembered. Hey, wasn't there another Dr. Fate back in DCU? There sure was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they even brought him back in. He's stuck in a vase now.
Yes.
That's all I asked. Just attention to detail. Just remember he existed.
Well, it was actually funny because in my interview with Scott Snyder, they mentioned that. Like one of their big goals is to keep everything straight. And they've done a really good job other than Bendis spoiling Heroes in Crisis.
Yeah. Thanks, Bendis.
They claimed it was a spoiler for Doomsday Clock, but now we see what it really is a spoiler for.
Yep. Which Heroes in Crisis 2 comes out tomorrow.
Okay, is that a monthly release? Because I feel like it's been forever.
I don't know.
I think it has to be a monthly release at this point, because yes, it's been forever.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
I like it, but nothing happened. Everyone's like, can you cover it? Can you cover it? I'm like, nothing happened.
Right. It would take a minute and a half.
Yeah. Hey, the comic opened up. We see what the purpose of Heroes in Crisis was, and everyone's dead. Like,
have we even like? I know that King invented Sanctuary and everything. Have we seen Sanctuary at all before Heroes in Crisis?
No, they've mentioned it leading up to Heroes in Crisis.
Right. King mentioned it a bunch in his own book, and I think Green Arrow mentioned it one time because Roy said it one time.
What did you think about that Green Arrow issue?
Clearly, editorial forced it into Doomsday Clock.
Yes, which did not feel good.
No.
I want to know, Joel, what's your opinion on that Green Arrow issue? Because that was a sad issue.
It was very sad. It was sad.
Sad in a good way. I mean, like, sad.
It was, and it's funny because, Roy as a character, man, for about a decade now, they've dragged him through the mud, even before the New 52, when they cut off his arm and killed his daughter for no reason and made him impotent for no reason, then made him super edgy with Red Hood. I'm like, this this was almost a mercy killing in a way, and I also think it speaks volumes about how he was handled in the New 52 when they go through all the memories of Roy, all the memories that happened. Okay, you got the famous Green Lantern, Green Arrow, my ward is a junkie, great moment, thank you for mentioning it and saying that it happened. Every other moment they had to make up.
Right.
Because he had no other amazing moments. They do mention he solved the murder of his father, which happened in the Ben Percy run, which was probably the best Roy story they've told in the last decade. But I think it speaks volumes that for Roy's funeral, they had to invent a bunch of sad moments because they couldn't mention any real ones.
Did. I did like that they brought him back to just being heroin, though.
Yeah,
right.
That's
good.
Well, what an interesting circle he's had there. I'm an alcoholic. No, actually, I was doing heroin too.
Yeah. Way to fix it.
That was another one of New 52's just weird lateral moves. Where it's like, well, what if he was an alcoholic instead of a heroin addict? I mean, one addiction's as bad as the other, right?
I think the attempt at that was to kind of bring it down to more of a kid-friendly addiction, so they can more reference it often.
That's true.
Weird. It's a weird choice because, like, if it was kosher 35, 40 years ago, should be fine. It should be even more fine now.
Unless
there was no rating on that book.
It's true. It's true.
There were more children reading them back then than there are now.
Ain't that crazy?
I think the issue was they wanted Roy because he's in the Young Justice and all that stuff. I think what it came down to was, everyone's looking up Red Arrow. He's into heroin. Well,
he got over it.
Was, but Hank Pym hit Janet 50 years ago.
And no one lets it go.
I know. Marvel won't let it go. Just don't refer to it anymore. Make him a scroll. Like, undo it. But Marvel's the one who keep going like, yeah, but don't forget, though. Hank Pym's a wife beat. Like, yeah, everyone would let it go if Marvel would, like, give him a pass. But they keep refusing to do it.
That's okay. They split his good half and his evil half in Infinity War, and I'm sure they'll say, no, it was the evil half that hit my wife. I'm the good half who did the other stuff.
Didn't they just do that with somebody? Who am I thinking about? There's some character where it doesn't matter.
It happened before. It'll happen again, I'm sure.
Yep. Benny, how far into Titans are you?
The show? I'm caught up. Okay, let's talk about that, because I don't think we've talked about it. Are you guys all caught up on Titans?
I watched episode 1.
The first episode.
And I'm like, that's plenty.
Oh, dude, you guys are so wrong. I'm loving it. Okay, all right, so I'm all caught up on Titans. First off, it reminds me of a dark, edgier version of like Judas Contract levels of Titans, where they're not happy-go-lucky. They're not just a bunch of kids who are like, we're fun sidekicks. No, it's not the 2005 Teen Titans. It's Titans. It's like Judas Contract, like fucking Dick Grayson giving up everything and his friends getting murdered and like all that stuff. Tara sleeping with an older guy. It's like that level of dark and edgy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which makes sense when you have all the other Titans to compare it to. And wow, this got dark. You can't start at that. You have to build to that. Because even if they did build to Happy Sunny, I'm not going to believe it because I just saw Dick Grayson tap dance on a man's head and go, fuck Batman.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that you say that because that's like the where I am at that point where it's like, I'm looking forward to the day when the Titans are like, happy to be Titans, or at least happy with each other, but like that because of the nature of drama, it's like in the Daredevil show where it's like Matt, where it's like Foggy and Karen are like, Matt's our friend. I'm like, when?
He's been a dick to you.
You guys were friends maybe half of the first season, and then he treated you guys like shit for Daredevil season 2, the first 10 episodes of Daredevil season 3, and all of the Defenders. That's 8 episodes of that. Literally, he's been a dick to you longer than he's been your friend. So with the Titans, it's like the Titans have been miserable and angry. When are they going to be happy? And when is that going? And you know that like with drama, you can't have them just you can't have the latter half of the Titans season B, and then they go to the mall,
never.
and then they have a sandwich. That's the cartoon show.
See but no, that's what you're missing though. So what they've been doing is almost like Lost or almost like Arrow is they've been going back and showing how we got to this.
Oh. It's not just a team before that.
No, they weren't. But what they're doing is showing how each of the characters got there.
Right.
So what we had is episode 2 was about Hawk and Dove.
Yeah.
And then we find out like, apparently Dick Grayson slept with Dove. Which is, and that's what broke up like the original potential formation of the Titans. But they were all super buddy and cheery back in those days, all except Hawk. But is Hawk ever smiling?
No.
No, that's his whole character trait. Yeah. He's the killjoy. That's his thing.
Yeah.
She's just got a thing for bird-based characters, huh?
Clearly.
So that's what we discovered in the second episode, and we go deeper into this why Dick Grayson is the way he is, and he's like going a path that he's not happy with. That's why he left Batman. That's why he's not really going out as Robin, but he gets but he gets kind of forced into going out as Robin, and just beats the crap out of a couple of guys again, like throws the Shuriken R into a guy's eyeball, things like that.
Which how does that make sense? I left Gotham because Batman was becoming too violent. I'm now in Detroit where I am violent.
Right.
Well, so he's not really going out doing it. And what we find out in this episode is even his friends are like, dude, what happened to you? Why have you gone this way? This isn't you. And we see him fight from before, more reserved, more happy-go-lucky. Episode 3, we actually find out a little bit more about Starfire. Still don't know why she's dressed that way.
No. She looks terrible.
Well, okay,
and that Starfire's a murderer now, and that she shoots actual fire now.
Well, she doesn't care. That's the thing. She doesn't give a crap. But like in the first episode, it made sense, the outfit, because like, oh, she woke up and she was pretending to be a hooker, to get in good with whatever the Russian mob was. Mm-hmm. And then we go into the second and third episode. It's like, okay, why haven't you changed? Like,
yeah,
like we're not doing this anymore. You're not pretending to be a hooker,
right?
But you're still in the hooker outfit.
Like speaking meta right now, this is not your costume.
Yeah.
No.
Like, please stop trying to make it into your superhero costume.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it.
So I don't like that she's staying in that. But so the third episode, we go all the way back to the origin of Robin. So like Dick Grayson arriving, and and what they're showing is that he didn't just come in and go, "Oh, hey, chum, I'm your sidekick." No, he's a kid who lost his parents and he's all kinds of messed up and wants to go kill them.
Yeah. And
Batman's going to train him to come back from that.
Right.
So like it's coming together nicely. I will say the way that episodes 1 through 3 have pieced together and explained more of what's going on, I don't feel Weekly is doing this show justice. I feel like this was filmed with the intention of being a Daredevil-style release where you could watch all 12 episodes sitting down.
I got that feeling too.
And it all would have come together as one big package, but now they're breaking it up weird, and as we're going, you're like, oh, it's not nearly as bad as it first looked in the first 2 episodes, but you wouldn't know that if you watched episode 1, and you're like, well, fuck this. This is not my Titans,
Right. No, it should have been released all at once. But I think they need to space it out. Like, I think that they're just not ready to have it all.
Well, I think that's the reason. I have a feeling that this was filmed with the intention of dropping the whole thing at once, but then they realized we'll have nothing till December.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. They're like, well, why don't we do it weekly? Like Hulu and all those guys, they do it weekly. They're like, okay, but be prepared for backlash because like we make Dick Grayson out to be a dick.
Right.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
You know what show has actually stayed consistently good, and that actually makes me sad because I know it's not going to matter because all the rights are changing hands and everything. The Gifted has remained actually very, very strong as an X-Men show goes. They are telling real, actual X-Men stories like you would expect from the comics, and they have purifiers that look like purifiers and everything, but it's probably not going to matter because it's probably going to be the last season.
Right. Well, Gifted, I'm sorry, I've never actually watched, but
it's really solid X-Men.
Out of all the characters, Starfire is acting to me like start of New 52, really early 80s Titans. She doesn't give a shit. Sex means nothing to her. She doesn't know who she is. I will say it is kind of weird that she still acts that way, but she doesn't remember she's an alien. So, like, it makes sense if you're like, well, this is my alien history, and sex doesn't matter, and I dress however I want, and I do whatever I want. But she's like, I don't know who I am. Burn, motherfuckers. Like.
Has the Doom Patrol showed up, or is that next episode?
That's next episode.
Right.
That's the only thing I care about.
They look really good.
They look good until that recent promo of episode 4. I'm like, Robot Man, he looks almost like a drawing, and it's cool, but he also looks a lot like one of those $60 rubber Halloween costume masks.
Oh, whatever. You got the stuff you wanted.
I'm just saying, like,
let me have this.
Just let Tiff have Robot Man.
I can't believe they made a Doom Patrol show. I can't believe they were like, they made Doom Patrol an episode. They were like, this is so good. Let's make a whole show. I'm like, that's
right away.
Listen, that's awesome.
Well, what I think is between Doom Patrol and between what they're doing with the Titans, I think they're treating this almost like Earth 1. Like it's because Jeff Johns is doing this, and he does a lot of that Earth 1 stuff. And watching the show, seeing how it's coming together, like, because if anybody, I love it's disrespectful to the characters. I'm like, have you read everything Titans has done? Because Titans Earth 1, Raven is Navajo. You know, like, Cyborg is made out of Starfire's crashed ship. Mm-hmm. Like that is saying that is disrespectful means you don't that you haven't watched anything except the cartoon show.
Right. But it's an Elseworld Earth 1. You come in expecting them to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, for anybody, like, when they were promoting Titans, I was like, this is going to be dark and edgy. It's not going to be Titans from the show. This is not Teen Titans. This is not what it's going to be. We got Doom Patrol, Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing, and Titans. I'm like, no, we're going very dark and edgy. We're doing the dark side.
Yeah, and this is not going to be Sunshine and Rainbow. Although I will say the Harley Quinn cartoon show looks like it will have some levity, especially with them choosing to cast Dietrich Bader as Batman, which is, of course, Batman from the cartoon show Batman Brave and the Bold, which was
and Alan Tudyk is the Joker.
It was more kid-oriented. Who plays Joker? I'm sorry.
Alan Tudyk is going to be the Joker. We just found that out this week.
Yeah.
Sounds like King Candy.
Yeah. I hope he does it.
But
that's so beautiful.
This actually leads to a great topic because I wanted to talk to you guys about this and then completely forgot I was going to. But I got a lot of tweets and comments that are like, Titans is disrespectful to the brand. How do you feel about Elseworlds and stuff like that in general? Because that's what that boils down to. I don't like Elseworlds' portrayal of a character. I don't like the cartoon Teen Titans Go because I think it's disrespectful to the characters, you know? Like, especially in comics, there's like 9,000 versions of Batman out there, guys.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can find a middle ground. I think you can reinvent the wheel while also staying true, at least, if not in style, at least in theme and tone, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Or at least those are my favorite
going things. For because if you go, okay, we have Judas Contract, Dark and Edgy Titans. We have Teen Titans, which is like a cartoon for kids but done up in anime. Right. We have Titans Earth 1, which was basically like a more modern portrayal, trying to make everything work.
Very.
We have things like Nightwing New Order, where he conquered the entire world because he was tired of the metas.
Ooh, don't forget the new Titans right now with Damian, where he's running a black site Abu Ghraib prison.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, which one of these are we disrespecting?
Right.
Because it doesn't matter because there's so many different things out there. One of the most popular things out there is Injustice, which you reminded me of, Cobra, in which Superman turns into a murderous tyrant. How is that not disrespecting Superman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess it comes in with whatever you come in expecting to get from it, I guess.
I mean, for me, I like the entire vibe of the Titans show. I like that kind of the old I like the soundtrack. I like the cinematography. I like how true to the costumes they're being. The only character that I have had a problem with up to now, and I'm still willing to give it a shot to see what's going on with this, is has been Raven. Raven's the only one, and it's only because I don't know what they're doing with her.
Same.
Because they've seemingly made the Raven persona like a separate personality, but also evil. So
well, I don't know. Like, because like Raven always struck me as like, regardless of her age, like more mature based on her whole like upbringing and such. Mm-hmm. She seems like, remember in the old animated show when she had like the multiple like personalities? There was one that was younger. That's what this feels like. I mean, presumably they're going to do Trigon, but it's like you're going to start your Titan show with Trigon.
That's the same DC mistake they made when they started with Darkseid or with Steppenwolf.
Yeah, where do you go from there?
Deathstroke. Yeah. I guarantee you they're not. I guarantee they're looking at Deathstroke as the end game for this show, and so they're like, "Well, fuck it, we'll do Trigon, and maybe we'll get Darkstar next season." No, you start with Deathstroke and then you go to Trigon. Yeah. But I think they decided to go this route for the simple matter of. Deathstroke's the more iconic villain for the Titans.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get it. But it's like if you do like Deathstroke first and they can barely handle him and he's a man. And then it's like the next time around you have to do Trigon. And then it's like, oh, we introduce Terra because like we need someone else to be a part of it. And then you can do that. And then you have to fight Trigon. It's like, just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just kind of surprised they went out.
Blood. Everyone always forgets Brother Blood is a Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
But that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like a lot of people are only considering the Teen Titans by that show. They're not considering the actual history of the Titans. Like things like the Doom Patrol is normal. Yeah. Like Nightwing is the oddball because he's a normal human being in that series.
Yeah. Well, they had actually in the old show they had the Doom Patrol show up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but they didn't have them like really in there. They were a part of a season for Beast Boy season.
No, there's a Doom Patrol like short cartoon series.
Yeah,
that I didn't know.
Yeah, it's like there's maybe like 3 or 4 episodes of it. And it's like very tiny, but like it's very. That's a little more in keeping with like the kookiness, at least, of Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
So
that's.
I mean, overall, I'm actually really enjoying it. I do. If you're iffy on it, I would just hold off in general.
Which is what I was planning on.
Yeah, but I would do it because, in my opinion, it is going to do better as a big show. Big
Probably.
show.
Yeah. Now here's a question: are they keeping the old episodes? Like when the new episode comes out, can I watch all? Can I basically wait until it's all done and then binge it all?
I don't see why I don't think it's Hulu because it's not going anywhere else. Hulu removes them because technically you can go to the server, whoever's hosting it, and grab it there.
Right.
So I don't see that happening this time.
Okay.
That's good. That's good to know.
So, I mean, what do you? Because you guys only watched the first episode, right?
We only saw the first episode.
I would give it a shot. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, we're gonna watch it. It's just Daredevil came and I had to finish the show.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when Daredevil, and like I said, this is probably because I'm not a big fan of Daredevil. You know, like I've never been a huge fan of Daredevil as a character in general. I've never been a fan of the whole Harlem. I've always found it a bit weird that we've got Luke Cage. Like, there's so many people in one spot in New York. I've always found that weird in the Marvel universe. You know, and they've always made fun of it. But I've never thought, Daredevil's a blind guy that can sense things. Okay. And every time I've tried to get into it, they're always trying to reinvent him to make more people want to play him. You know?
He's also a ninja, and he also has a lot of Catholic angst.
Yeah, and maybe it's the Catholic angst thing that just makes me go, yeah. You know, like
clearly someone's parents didn't force them to go to summer school. Or to a Sunday school, I should say.
Clara, thank you so much for 8 months in a row.
Wow.
Nice. I'll tell you what, Benny, I will give Titans another shot once I'm done Daredevil and I've caught up on Gifted, Flash, and Legends.
God.
Yeah, and that'll probably work better for you because by then you'll have 4 episodes to plow through, or 5, depending on how long it takes you.
There is so much superhero TV right now.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's been my complaint since the beginning of CW. This year, I'm trying to keep up with it because we're doing our TV show podcast now. And I'm trying to keep up with the shows. And it's so difficult. Because I'm like, all right, what's going on in Flash? And they all have such different vibes. Like
very.
Netflix shows in general, they always feel like big-ass movies. While on counter to that, you know, things like the CW shows, it's all about the drama. So you're like,
you can't miss an episode.
That's true.
Well, and CW's doing the whole Elseworlds thing, which is just like which should be cool, but it's like okay, but it's also CW, so I'm not too excited.
That last crossover they did, Earth X, was really solid. Like they could have put that in a theater, and I think people would have paid tickets to see it and not have been disappointed.
Oh, they would have. I said it was a better Justice League than Justice League.
It was. It really was.
Like, as much as I hate to say it, because I didn't mind the Justice League movie, Crisis on Earth X was better than Justice League.
Not only that, Crisis on Earth was saying shit and was actually being pretty topical. I'm like, wow.
That's cool.
So I'm actually excited for the Elseworlds thing. Did you see that they got the original guy from the original show?
Yes, I did. It's cool. Yeah, John Wesley Shipp is going to be Flash again, which is kind of fun.
The funniest part about that, though, is he looks better as his Flash than Grant Gustin does in his
Stephen Amell looks really terrible in that Flash suit.
No, you can tell it's not made for his body type.
Right? Like, he looks fat, which is like, he's not.
He's
really weird.
It's funny. My other co-host Matt actually had an interesting theory as to why the costumes look so weird. Because Grant Gustin has the new suit where it's got like all this extra headroom. His theory was that they actually made that suit with the crossover and Amel's body type in mind, but greatly overestimated or underestimated it, and that's why they both look weird now.
I don't mind the cowl to an extent. It needs the chin strap, though. It looks like a weird motorcycle helmet right now.
Yeah.
If you look at the chat, Dante linked in the look of the monitor.
I was just looking at that.
100% accurate. I cannot believe that the monitor looks so good.
Yeah.
Well, that and the Batwoman costume. I think in general, DC's like, just make them look like the fucking movies in the comics now. Like
the comics. Like, just do it.
You know what's funny? My initial reaction was, don't Photoshop this. Because that's all I can see. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, look at all the effects.
Yeah, woo! Just show me the thing. Stop with your fake wind and your
Also, we're going to be getting Lois Lane in the new crossover too, and there's talks that they might try and use that to backdoor pilot an actual Superman show.
I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're keeping Batman and Superman for DC Universe if we ever get a show there. Because if you notice what they're putting out in the DC Universe right now, they're niche fan base topics. So so I can tell you right now, if Titans, Doom Patrol, and Swamp Thing and Harley Quinn hit the numbers they want, we'll get Batman, Superman there. We won't get it on CW.
Right.
I had heard a rumor that they had cast a Batman for the DC Universe app. I will know. Who knows?
No one knows. He's in Titans.
It's a bird.
But we don't see him. He's always silhouetted.
Right.
But he's there. There's somebody being him.
Okay.
Like we've seen the back of his head and things like that. So they're obviously intending to go somewhere with this. Like they want him to exist.
Right.
But they obviously don't have someone in mind yet because they don't know what they want to do with it.
Well, and God, like there's no cohesion. So they're like, well, we want to make movies with Batman, but we also want to make these shows with Batman. And can we don't really know, and we've never really tried it, can we actually survive with multiple media versions of the same characters across media? Like, can we have, they were like, look, Man of Steel didn't do as well as Batman, so we can make a Superman and the Supergirl show. And you know what? The world didn't fall apart and nobody cared.
Yeah.
Like, so you can do that with Batman. You can have like 3 Batmans across different medias, and I think it'd be fine. Like, just do it.
They're getting better about it.
And just make because nobody's going to complain that like the Batman they cast in the show is never going to get a movie, because then you'll have however many like hours of a Batman show. Like that's your movie. You don't need a movie. You got that. Like
it's funny, it's like they won't complain unless he's worlds better than the guy they get in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be.
Well, the argument is always been
they
don't want to oversaturate their own markets. They don't want to like that's why we haven't had Joker in every incarnation. That's why Jerome has to be Jerome in Gotham, even though he's an amazing Joker.
Right.
It's because their argument is they don't want there to be an oversaturation of the characters. And I do think you're right, Sal. I think they're testing that.
Yeah.
I think having Batman in Titans but not in Titans is a way to go, well, is this going to work?
Yeah.
Like, can we actually do this?
And I think there are people, I think there's 2 different sides. I think like there's probably a group. I bet everybody who's making DC Universe, everybody working on DC Universe is like, yes, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just, we could literally do a whole Batman show. And it'll be fine. And people are like, no. Like, I bet it's all top down. I bet it's all Warner Brothers being like, I want to be really careful about it. You have to jump through all these ridiculous hoops in order to make it work.
That there weren't multiple James Bonds or multiple Indiana Joneses.
Yeah, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
But Jerome started at Super Speedster. I know he's got a brother and all that weird stuff. That's how they brought him back. He's still the original Jerome was still Joker. It's the same actor. God damn it.
No, wait a minute. Why is Nora Freeze going to be in the Arrowverse crossover?
We don't know yet. That's part of the mystery. We're not sure.
Just don't.
Why do I got a feeling Nora Freeze is going to be Miss Freeze in the Batwoman universe, because I guarantee you, this is my theory. The reason we're getting Batwoman is they don't want to do Batman, and if you do Batwoman, you need to give her own origin and her own everything so that she stands alone.
Yep.
Right.
Otherwise, you have to explain Batman.
Oh my God. Do you think that in the Arrowverse or whatever alternate reality version she's in, there is no Batman? It's just that in this universe, it's like an Elseworld story where everybody's flipped. Like
it's the gender bent universe.
Yeah,
that exists. Was that her 26? I think.
Yes.
So does that mean he's in the tube?
Right.
Yeah, he'll be in the tube. I guarantee she's going to be Mrs. Freeze instead of Mr. Freeze, and that's what they're doing.
I'm not saying I like it, but I'm saying you could potentially spin that and have it not be as stupid as we fear it could be.
I think it's just stupid not to just do it. Like, you know what I mean? Just go, like, if Warner Brothers is talking to you about what you can't do, be like, you got any scripts in development with Mr. Freeze for the movies? No, we're putting Mr. Freeze in the show.
Also, too, it could just be an Easter egg. She could just be a background character that they're like, we could have called her anything, but we called her Nora Freeze.
Well, it's Steve Amell's wife, so...
Oh, I did not know that.
What River King just came in and said that WB ruining Black Label. What'd they do to Black Label? What happened?
They said no bat dicks. Like they're the reason that like the book got screwed up.
Oh, I'm okay. I don't give a shit about the nudity in there. Is it like no nudity in general, or is it just no Batman nude?
It was the fact that it got through, like the Colbert effect made Warner Brothers afraid about tarnishing the Bat legacy by allowing in comic depictions of his dick. So like they were. It's just it came from the top. The top said, You actually are endangering the reputation of our icon
with all these.
And so
dicks.
we need to reevaluate everything we've been doing with the Bat brand and everything that you guys are doing at the comic level.
Wow.
Because we thought there was an oversight, but clearly there isn't. Because we said yes because you pitched us this thing about Black Label, but you then made this show, you made this comic, and Colbert made fun of it.
Yes.
Don't you understand? Colbert
made fun of us.
I don't give a crap about the nudity. Nudity does not make it mature to me. I kind of wish we'd gotten a naked Wonder Woman before we got rid of it, but I mean, I've got my Bat Dick comic in the closet. That thing's worth like $300 now.
It's worth $2,500 now.
Is it?
If it's signed.
Yeah. I saw a bunch on sale in London, yeah.
I can get that signed. I'm the goddamn Comicstorian.
Yeah, you could buy one from me.
Hey, buddy.
By the way, it has to be the Jim Lee variant cover.
Oh, I got the
really
original.
nice variant. Not every day you see it.
By the way, Black Label Batman Damned #2 comes out soon. Like I think
yeah,
this week.
I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's why everyone has asked me to cover Batman Damned. I'm like, what do you guys want me to do? Just put a big plastered image? Here's the dick.
By the way,
the book's way more than that, and the fact that like we're even having this conversation just proves how not ready everyone is to treat this like an adult medium.
We should be ready, but like everybody screwed it up.
Yep.
Everyone did everything wrong.
Apparently, the next one, because I heard this through the rumor mill, but apparently, and I don't know how true this is. Maybe you guys can verify it was false or true. The next big thing was going to be full frontal nude Aquaman in the next Black Label pick reveal.
I had heard that there was going to be more naked Batman in Batman Damned.
And that's why they had to delay the book, because they had to cover up all the dicks.
Yes.
There probably will. The next issues will be censored to some degree. Yes. We'll never know.
Yep. You'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
But
wow, that's a lot of black space where his dick would be.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about it, by the way? Brian Azzarello worked into the contract that he signed to make Batman Damned that no art would be changed upon publication. And he did it. It's a clause in his contract. They had to pay him a bunch of money because they screwed it up. But it was not for the dick. It was because there's a last page reveal that it looks like the Joker desecrates a cross.
Yes.
And he's like, they are going to flip out when they see this. His concern was not about he thought no one was going to care. And that people were going to be so offended and so outraged that like the Joker would paint a happy face on Jesus.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that like he had the foresight, but in an inadvertent way, to cover his ass about this book. So, yeah. By the way, if you saw him at New York Comic Con, he was miserable.
Oh, I bet. He seems miserable at the best of times.
Because it was all about that. It was like all the chatter was about that. There were hundreds of people with multiple copies of Batman Damned with CGC people up the wazoo. It was a nightmare. And
I told him I liked his Wonder Woman run.
You did? He was like, wow.
Well, I mean, it's funny too because I got a whole bunch of comments like, when is Wonder Woman going to be naked? It was funny. I would have said this about Batman, but I assumed they were going to go mostly male nudity for a while because I didn't think they would ever get to female nudity in the level of Wonder Woman. It'd be background characters because like she's too much of like an icon for little girls to be like. And then she was topless.
Okay, hold on. I'm not going to go into it because we were going to keep this short, but like what we saw in that comic is not like pin-up nudity.
No, I agree.
It was there for a reason. And in fact, when we talked about it, there was a comment on our video that was just like, you guys would be really upset if it was Wonder Woman instead of Batman. And I was like, actually, if it was portrayed in the same way with the same care and meaning behind it, I would have zero problem with that.
Also, the idea of Wonder Woman being naked on an island of women in a place that's safe and like feminine is actually more appropriate than anything.
Right?
Very.
Well,
not
I mean,
only
Batman dropping his clothes to go change is not a big deal either.
No, but like, not only that, but she has such a tie to Greek and Roman mythology. Where sculpture, exactly. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, too, I do believe in White Knight, which was basically Black Label before Black Label. It was supposed to be when they're re-releasing it under.
The book is being reprinted now. It's the trade for White Knight is a Black Label book.
Yeah,
nice.
And Murphy wanted nudity in that. There wanted to be like a little Harley boob and like.
Oh, he had nudity. They made him change it for the original release, and then but they told him we'll make it black and white, and she can be topless in the Black Label run. And so he signed on to do the Black Label book. He signed on to let White Knight be a Black Label book under those pretenses. But after the fallout, now that's not the same case. So, like, if you pick up Black Label, you should expect a certain amount of, like, if it's like getting an old Marvel Max book. I should expect at least some kind of cursing, if not some kind of, like, mature-themed element. But with White Knight, you're going to get the same exact book you bought, but it has a different logo on it.
Yeah. I mean, topless Harley would have been kind of cool, but...
Yeah, but Harley's one of the 4 pillars of DC, so we can't have her here. Yeah, we can't have her naked.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, in that one, that wasn't technically the Black Label, and I think that was... I mean, it was meant to be, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like...
Well, I was excited. I don't
know. Like, it just... The whole thing bothers me, because it's like... The Black Label, like, you knew what this was. You knew what you signed up for when you created the label. Yep. You saw the script that was coming out. You approved the art. It didn't go... It's not like Bermejo sends it directly to the printer. That had to go through edits and had to go through lots of people looking at that. And they all said it was fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
It's the definition of tripping at the starting line.
Yeah.
If you're going to put out a show that you're trying, that's like on tablets, which parents give to children to access to make car rides feel shorter. And you're going to have your titular character in the Titans book say F Batman. You're going to go dark. You're going to go like edgy. Then you've already established a precedent. And if you're like making a mature reader's label and Colbert is talking about it, double ship the book and make that scratch and get in front of it. Hey, you know who'd be a great guest on Colbert? Jim Lee or Jeff Johns or Brian Azzarello or Lee Bermejo. Put them on the shows, get in front of it, and make your money. And then promote the label, because you know who doesn't know about Black Label? Anyone.
Everyone.
Like anyone who doesn't read comics. Even people who do read comics, like, what is Black Label exactly again? Well, now it's nothing, but what it could have been was cool. And what it could have been was popular, and what it could have been was capitalized thanks to the stupid drama about this one thing that America can't handle. But, wouldn't it have been great for them to go, yeah, his dick's in there, you're going to get a lot more than that, get ready.
Horrible, deplorable violence is A-okay so long as no one whips it out.
Right, and by the way, like,
Manhattan's dick showed up in the Doomsday book.
It's not like Black Label should be a book where it's like, you're gonna get all your favorite superheroes and all of their penises. It's gonna be amazing. It's just gonna be like it's gonna be a pinup calendar line. But if you sell 600,000 copies of Batman Damned #2 because you went on Colbert and said, like, hey, yo, like, it's big, like, it's a lot of stuff. Like, it's crazy. Like, you're not going to know what to expect. Hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to re-release Killing Joke with the original Brian Boland art. It's going to be nuts. Now, even if the people are buying it for the wrong reasons, a wider net of people are buying the book. And through that exposure, the things you want are going to take place. People are going to be exposed to like higher or like at least more mature themes and interesting caliber of art. And so that would be like, that's a boon. But instead Warner Brothers was like, and screwed themselves, because now you have to, in order to get like an original copy of Batman Damned, you got to pay through the ass for no good reason. Stupid. We had a sub, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Colton. Thank you so much. 3 months in a row. But I think that's a good place to bring it to a close, unless you got something else to add, Tiffany. Joel, you don't matter.
No, I'm good there.
Yeah, what else is new?
Nah. Do you have anything, Joel?
Nah, I'm good. They said it all.
Rocket Wolfpack, thank you so much for that 9 months in a row. You guys are awesome. You're helping us fund all of this stuff and keeping it all going. But yeah, I think that's a good place to leave this up right now. Nice little random episode, Twitch exclusive. We can put the link out to the Twitch episode, but we can put it up if you guys think so, but I don't think it should go up.
Content's content.
Fair enough.
Yeah, content is content.
Tommy G725, subscribe with Twitch Prime.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Seriously. Walking Bread, 24 months in a row, and a little female. They're giving us the subs. Thank you, subs, Sal.
Thanks, Walking Bread. I don't get any money from that, but I do appreciate you doing it.
What do you mean you don't get money? I send it all to Tiffany.
No, you don't.
Shut up, Benny.
We'll have to talk about this.
This just became the best stream ever.
Right?
We cut off Joel's paycheck to give it all to Tiffany. She said she was going to split it.
I have to go now. The house is on fire.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you did enjoy the discussion, please go say hi to Tiffany and Sal over at Comic Pop. Go join Joel over at Caped Joel. And you can find me, as usual, over at Comicstorian or right here on the Eligible Monster Twitch channel. Later this week, we'll be doing Comics Experiment on Thursday, along with 3 beers and a topic and some Elder Scrolls Online. Saturday's going to be Warframe, and Sunday will be our comic book review show, the Comicstorian Weekly Show. About 2 p.m. Eastern starts all of that stuff. Thank you guys for joining us today, and we will be back in 2 weeks, hopefully with topics. Otherwise, you'll get another episode of us BSing.
Just like this.
We'll probably talk about Batman's dick again.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that literally got the conversation going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we just trim we'll go intro, trim the beginning, and just go right to when we started talking?
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, guys.
We all have strong feelings about Batman's dick.
And also, happy Halloween to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's tomorrow, but...
Oh, yeah!